Hello and welcome to the HGC, the Hardcore Gamers Club, your safe spot for all things gaming. A while back, a guy asked me how to remove the fan off of the Xbox One heatsink. Well, here's the video for you. Sorry it took so long. Anyway, the fan is not bolted on. It simply is attached on by clips. Here, 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 and here. Now there's some retainers here and, oops, sorry, right there. Them are not clips. There's also some retainers on this side, sorry. Okay, these are not clips. Alright, they're guides. Alright, these are clips. Alright, so in order to get your fan off for replacement, you're going to take a spudger. For some of you at home do-it-yourselfers, hopefully you got the right tools, but a butter knife should suffice, or a very small flathead screwdriver. Just get up underneath the leg, just work your way underneath it, lift up on it a little bit, and kind of manipulate your fingers here, and then take and on this little bit of copper pipe, let's get this in the screen, on that little bit of copper pipe right there, you're just going to kind of push down at the same time. So it's kind of hard to do with this. Oh, I'm dropping my camera. Alright. There we go. I think we got that a little bit better. Well, I'm butterfingers tonight. Alright, so get up underneath that tab, lift it up, and push with your finger like that. See how it came out just a little bit? And then do the opposite side. Careful not to let that slip back in. Do the opposite side. Just kind of push down right here. Get it put underneath there and lift that tab up. Alright. And then you'll notice that there's a gap all the way across. Alright, you take your spudger, use the fat side if you like, or the thin side, and then just kind of give it a little bit of a pry upward. Helps if you're pushing away, and have the ability to put it on the table and not be videoing yourself at the same time. Alright, so you just need to get up underneath that leg, because this thing's pretty tight on there. Okay. Obviously you don't want to break it if you plan on putting your fan back on. Once you get to a certain point, that'll look like about like that. This will just pop right open like that, and then the legs on the opposite side, they're still in there, so just kind of jiggle a little bit and it'll come right off. Now there's your fan. Okay, now see how closely this is vented? And you see me. Alright, see how closely this is vented? This is really reminiscent of the old first gen Xbox 360 heatsink. Okay, the dust is going to build up on the bottom side of the heatsink, because the way this is designed is the fan pulls the air out of the box, so all the air comes in from the vents, goes underneath, gets pulled out and through. So this heatsink design is going to be really deceptive for most of you, because all the dust buildup is going to be on the bottom side. So a good rule of thumb is, if you look down inside your box and you see a lot of dust buildup on your fans, then it'd probably be a good idea to clean it out. Alright, so when you're putting this back together, you got to make sure that you don't put this on the wrong direction. Alright, there's usually a barcode on your heatsink. Pay close attention to whether or not that's, excuse me for autofocus, pay close attention to whether or not that sticker is on the same side as your power plug, or if it was on the opposite side of your power plug. I don't know how standard they're all going to be, but in this particular one, it was on the same side as the power plug. So what we're going to do to put it back on, and if you're replacing it, you're going to be putting a new one on, is you're going to slide this in there with your retainers and make sure that these two tabs, excuse the autofocus, these two tabs, alright, this one and this one are actually in the groove. Then turn it around, and here's the fun part. Just kind of give yourself a sandwiching effect with your fingers, and you're going to have to take that spudger again, get up underneath that tab. You'll have to open it back up just a little bit, get up underneath that tab, and then give it a little bit of a squeeze, oops, so that that tab will actually ride up on the spudger. And then once it does, you'll see that it's a little bit above your point there, and then just pull that out. And you'll do the same thing on the other side. That spudger up underneath there. Try not to allow that to get away from you. Put that spudger on the other side, and see that? And then give it a push, and then pull that spudger out. And then when you're done, there's likely going to be a gap, and they're not going to be in the holes. So make sure you take your spudger and make sure that that closes all the way onto the clip. Okay, there we go. It's all on. You absolutely want to make certain this is on correctly and the same way you took it off. Otherwise, when you go to put it back in, it's not going to work, because your cable, it has to be directly where the plug-in is and toward the back side of the box where the ports are. So if your fan's put on sideways or backwards, these legs for the X clamp is not going to line up with the chip and the holes in the motherboard. Okay, so that's how you remove and replace your Xbox One fan. And now again, I can't stress it enough, these are very closely vented like the first gen Xbox 360 heat sinks, so it's going to build up dust really quickly. What happens when dust builds up in there? It's like putting your hands over it. Okay, no more airflow. The box starts running excessively hot. It will burn out your chips, your caps, your voltage regulators, your relays. It will burn up the chip itself. It will excessively heat and cool during your game play. It will, once you shut the box off, that chip is going to be extremely hot. The fan will quit spinning. All of the heat from this heat sink, because it's burning hot, because there's very little airflow, is then going to be directed back down into your chip. If it don't burn out the chip, it's absolutely going to crystallize and crack the solder beneath your chips, causing red lights, power issues, freezing, all kind of stuff, requiring a reball or proper reflow. And no, not with a heat gun. A heat gun is not a proper reflow. And turning the box, unplugging the fan and overheating the box is in no way an option. Okay, I know a lot of the game stores and all of them were offering you the 15-minute repair. When they took it in the back room, they poked stuff in the fans, or took it in the back room, opened it up and unplugged the fan, overheated the box, or actually wrapped them in towels and then brought it back to you and gave you like a 5-day warranty, charged you $100 to do it. Yeah. Oh my God. Anyway, just wanted to put this video out for that guy and anybody else who may be curious as to how to remove these. Now, if you're replacing the fan, and you got a replacement, you don't really have to worry too much about these clips breaking them, but you do want to be very careful not to bend or dent any of your vents, and you absolutely want to be very careful of dropping it. These are copper heat transfer pipes. They actually have a very high alcohol content inside. They work by evaporation. So the heat comes in here, that alcohol will actually become a gas form, travel through into the radiator, if you want to call it that, cool off, liquefy again, and then come back through. Alright, so if you drop it and you crack this, or you bang this in a way that it causes that stuff to leak out, it will overheat no matter what your issue is. Okay, so if you have a box that's overheating, even though your fan's working properly, even though you put new thermal paste on it, there's a very good likelihood that it is the alcohol within the copper tubing has somehow escaped. Try replacing the entire heatsink. Okay, just a little quick tip there. Now, definitely put the X-clamps back on. If you don't remove the X-clamps properly, you'll probably wind up with an overheating issue. So if you want to be able to take these off proper, I have a video on my channel, go look for it. It's how to make an X-clamp removal tool. Make one for removing your X-clamp so you don't destroy the X-clamp. Then reinstall the X-clamp back on. Okay, I'll make a video later on showing exactly how to do that. So sorry I made this video long, but just there's a lot of information that needs to get out, and the more you guys like and sub to this channel, the more actual videos concerning repairs I will put out. Okay. Oh, don't forget, I also have giveaways on this channel, so go look for the giveaways. At the time I made this video, I have a giveaway going for the next generation game system, which will be what, Xbox 2 or PlayStation 5, who knows what they're going to call it. Anyway, it'll be for a brand spanking new game system of whatever the next generation release is. Okay, now I am fully aware that the release date for any of them boxes is not in 2007, and that's when the actual drawing will take place, is in 2007. But that allows me to get all your information as to which console you want, how to get a hold of you, where you live, make sure your parents give me permission to give you the gift of the game system to you, or to them for you, because technically if they consider that a lottery or of some sort, even though it's not really a lottery, and it's a gift from me to my viewers, even though I do the winner via lotto. You do have to be 18 or older to accept the gift. So if you win and you're under 18, have your parents or legal guardian accept the box on your behalf, and I'll be more than happy to do that. So that's that. Xbox One heatsink, fan removal and replacement. Okay, for the replacement, do not break these putting it back on. If you're replacing it, it doesn't matter if you break these taking them off, but you don't want to break them putting it back on. Stay safe, happy gaming everybody, and I'll get more videos out to you guys quite soon.